Hello everyone and welcome back to Farming Simulator 19. You're watching JCTV on the Xbox One console. This is the Przemas Outback John Deere Farm, episode number 5. Thanks for stopping in, folks, and thank you for taking the time to watch this video. I surely do appreciate it. Welcome back. Episode number 5 kicks off. We are seeding our newly purchased field, field number 22. Phase 1 is underway, folks. We have purchased the third out of 4 fields. We've got one more to go, which still costs $165,000. We are seeding the field. We are going to be doing some contract work right here in an attempt to raise more funds to fertilize these 3 fields that have now seeded and will be growing shortly. We do need some extra funds, as $8,000 that we have in our bank account right now is not going to be enough to fertilize all 3 of those fields. So we need to drum up some more funds. We're still scraping by, as you can see, but phase 1 is underway, as I mentioned. Alright, so we've accepted this harvesting contract. We're going to accept the little harvesting contracts that are probably under $8,000 or $9,000. Those fields are relatively small. The jobs will go by really quickly, and we'll be able to drum up enough money to fertilize these fields once they reach the second stage of growing, which we will be completing this episode. Let's have a look at the harvester here and the header. Well, the header's at 71%. We should not have to perform any maintenance on it right now. We should be okay. Let's drive the harvester out to the first contract, and we will get this underway. Alright, and while we're driving out to the first contract, take a quick minute, folks. If you have not done so already, click that subscribe button for me in the bottom right hand corner of your screen. That would be greatly appreciated. Drop a like on this video if you happen to like, or, if you feel so inclined, drop a dislike. Either way, I thrive on constructive criticism. And when you're done that, come and follow us on all of our social media campaigns. You can find us on Twitter, Facebook, Discord, Patreon, and of course there's a small PayPal link there if you feel so inclined to send us a donation. That would be great. Remember, folks, donations are never expected but always greatly appreciated. You may even earn yourself a verbal shout out on next week's video. And then when you're done, check out the featured channeled section of my YouTube channel. You'll see 4 excellent farming simulator YouTubers there. Mr. Least Square Gaming, Carl Johnson, Crazy Simulator, and Mr. Deuce MS. Go and check out those 4 gentlemen there. Subscribe to their channels, like and share their videos, and ring their notification bells so you can be alerted every time those guys upload new videos. You don't want to miss anything. You can probably find all those guys on Discord as well. Check out their descriptions. Follow them on all of their social media campaigns, and you won't be disappointed. Whew, okay, that was a long breath there. We are almost at the field. We are going up to this small field on the other side of the railroad tracks here. We're taking all the back roads because my stubbornness prevents me from using a header trailer. So we are driving at full width here throughout the Przemas Outback. We're going to have to jump the railroad tracks up here momentarily. And then the field is right there on the other side of the tracks. You can see it right there on the other side of that rock formation. We're not going to fit across those that railroad crossing. Let's just turn around here real quick. Is there a train coming first? Always got to look here in the Przemas Outback to see if there's a train coming. Otherwise, that's how accidents happen, folks. Rail safety is no joke. Alright, this is the field number 2. We are going to start this contract. We could probably complete 3 or 4 contracts in this episode because you know how it goes if you've been here before. We only like to show the beginning and end of the contract. You don't need to see the boring middle part. You just want to see the good stuff. So that's what we bring you here on JCTV. Nothing but the good stuff. Alright, the harvester is underway. Here we go. Alright, now we just have to go back to the farm, grab the semi-trailer and the tipper. The Lizard Road Runner 53-foot trailer that's painted John Deere green. Remember, folks, this is a John Deere farm, but if we're using equipment that is not John Deere, we've painted it John Deere green as best as we can to keep in spirit with this whole series. Nothing but green equipment everywhere as far as the eye can see. All right, let's get this truck up there. We will prepare to empty the harvester after the first or second pass of that field. We shouldn't get a lot of crops out of that field. It's pretty small, and we should be able to fit everything in one truckload. That's why we can do 3 or 4 contracts in this one episode, because they're not going to be that long. The fields are relatively small in size compared to the other fields on this map, and we should be able to complete them lickety-split, no problem whatsoever. Alright, coming up to the road, we are almost there. Past the field, over the hills, through the woods, to grandmother's house we go. Now this we could probably drive right across the rail crossing, because it's a truck. It's not a 40-foot wide harvester. All right, and we have arrived at field number 2. The harvester has already carved out one full length of the field. There he is there, just finishing that up. Now let's skip to the end, to the part where we sell the crops and see how much money we can get. Here we are, arriving at the grain mill. And remember, if this is your first episode with us, when you're using this super large trailer on this map, you've got to go through to the far end, back up towards the trigger. Otherwise, when you unload the crops, your trailer will hit the roof, glitch, and fly all over the place, and it's not a pretty sight. It's actually pretty scary. Contract is done. $3,400 in crops, $2,200 in contract money, which brings us to our next contract. We're going to do field number 12. There we go. We now have $13,437. We're going to drive the harvester over to field number 12, which is somewhat close by, I think. Let's just go for a little drive. Oh, there's an airplane shadow there. Did you see that? One of the many features on this map is that old-style biplane that flies overhead. Routinely, you will see the shadow. Now, always got to check for the train. There we go. Perfect. Field number 12 is just down the road here a little bit. It's not very far at all. It's only going to take a few seconds to drive there. All right. If you guys have never played this map before, or if you have if you have played this map before, leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think of this map. Do you like playing it? Do you not like playing it? Did you play it for 5 minutes and decide it wasn't for you? Or did you make a 75-hour campaign out of it and you just absolutely love this map and can't stop playing it? Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think of the Przemas Outback map, because I like this map. I kind of do. It is very well laid out. It's got lots of nice sized fields, and there's really not a lot of limitations as to what you can do with it. You can see phase 1 of our plan was to join those 4 fields together, 20 through 23, and that's what we're going to do because that's what the map allows us to do. All right, field number 12 is just up here behind these palm trees. There we go. We should be able to get all of these contracts completed in this episode without repairing the harvester header. I'm hoping that is the case because we need some extra money. Here we go. The harvester has started, and bingo, bango, bongo. Here is the end of the harvesting contract where we sell the crops. We're at $13,150. Let's sell these crops. We're at the same grain mill. Everything is going to the same grain mill from all of these smaller fields. We're just waiting for the back doors to open. You can't see it because it's inside the mill there. There we go. $18,193 so far. Now the cost of the contract. And let's do another one. We can squeeze out another contract here really quickly. This one, field number 8 for $3,000, $2,000. Or field number 9. Is there any other ones? Let's have a little gander at the contract wall. All right, where is that field located? Well, field number 9 is all the way back up there. Let's see if there's one on 13, because we're right beside it. It only makes sense. I think I've seen one for field 13. There it is. All right, let's just go right next door to field number 13. We're at $21,000 now, not bad. A few minutes into this episode, we were at $8,000. Now we're at 21. This is kind of tight quarters for that train to come by. Hopefully the worker we hired does not get hit by the train. Here's the end of the contract, completed now with no accidents from the rail car. We're at the train station mill dumping the oats from contract on field number 13. We're at $20,000 now. This worker's not costing a lot of money, so we are getting quite a bit of work done here. Here we go, $32,000 plus the cost of the contract. We're at $35,354. That's probably more than enough to fertilize our fields. I just want to make sure that we're not going broke, because we still need to fertilize and then fertilize again for the second stage of fertilizing, and then harvesting. Of course, hopefully by the next episode we'll be able to harvest those 3 fields and do some more contract work in between and raise enough money to get that 4th field for $165,000, and then phase 1 will be complete once we join them all together. And then we can start on phase 2. And I'm not going to tell you what phase 2 is. You're just going to have to tune in to find out. But phase 2 is going to blow your mind. So in the meantime, we're going to take the tipper and the harvester back to the farm, park it, and then I think we've got a little bit of time to wait before the first stage of growing is complete, which will allow us to fertilize, because when we seed, we also fertilize at the same time. So it's already at 50% right now. We have to wait for the second stage to kick in before we can fertilize again up to 100%. And then I think we'll be able to harvest after that once the crops fully grow. So let's bring the semi-trailer back to the farm. We'll park it. So far, not a lot of incidences with these 2 trains here. I do love having these 2 trains. It makes it quite convenient to go either to the top or bottom of the map with a lot of crops. It's going to come in handy once phase 3 of our plan is complete. And I'm not going to tell you what phase 3 is either, because if I didn't tell you what phase 2 was, why would I disclose what phase 3 was? Just doesn't make any sense. You're just going to have to tune in and keep watching to find out. Alright, semi-trailer is back in the shed. Let's get this harvester back to the farm. We'll fold it all up nice and neat, and before we harvest, we'll actually repair the harvester and the header. It is somewhat low. It's down about 1/4 of the maintenance, but I always like to have a freshly tuned harvester and header before we harvest anything. You never can be too sure. You don't want to stop harvesting in the middle of your harvest just to repair the header or the harvester itself. You can tell, even if that meter wasn't there, you can tell that the harvester needs to be fixed, because it clocks in at 6 miles an hour in harvest mode, and then as the maintenance runs down, it gets slower and slower. So as soon as you see it dip down to 5 miles an hour on flat land, it's time to repair your harvester and or header on that harvester. Just a little maintenance tip for you guys. Alright, making our way back to the farm with the harvester. Alright. Then I think, yeah, we've got some time to wait because our fields are not quite ready to fertilize yet. So maybe we'll take a quick break, have some lunch, fast forward a little bit to the second stage of growing, and then it will be completed. We could utilize the rest of the episode and do some contract work, but then we'd have to push fertilizing to the next episode, and we don't want to do that. We want to show you the good stuff. So we're going to park the harvester, fast forward time a little bit while we eat some lunch, and then we will fertilize those fields, and we'll show you the fertilizer sprayer, which coincidentally is not all John Deere green. There's some bright orange there as well, but it's a nice contrast. The Amaze One fertilizer sprayer, or Amazon, I don't know what you call it. It doesn't matter. It's partially John Deere green, partially bright orange. All right, let's get this harvester back in the shed, and we'll break for some lunch. Lunch sounds good. You do have a couple of seconds, folks. while the screen flips to the other side of the video, why don't you go grab yourself a snack, ice cold beverage, and join us back in a couple of minutes for harvest time. Actually, not a couple of minutes. It's probably only going to take a couple of seconds because we're going to go in the door and out the door, and there we go. It is now fertilizing time. Lunch is over. Lunch was good. Let's fertilize some fields. All right, so let's jump in one of the John Deere tractors here. Past our John Deere baler. There's our fertilizer sprayer right there. You can see the bright orange sticks out like a sore thumb. We were not able to paint that portion of the sprayer green, so it is what it is. It's got green arms and a green hitch. That's fine. All right, it's completely empty, and you'll see why in a minute why we had to do all of those contract work to before we filled up the spreader. It's because the spreader holds a lot of fertilizer, and it's really expensive to fertilize your fields. So we went from 36,000 down to, the magic number is, wow, almost $10,000 to fertilize, to fill up this fertilizer sprayer. That's pretty expensive. I think if that does get problematic in the future, we could probably downgrade to a different sprayer that produces the same output of fertilizer, but is not that costly to fill. All right, let's take care of this really quickly. We're going to fertilize all 3 fields, as all 3 fields have now entered the second stage of growing. Here we go, all lined up. And fertilizer start. There we go. So this probably won't take that long at all. The sprayer is pretty wide, and these fields are not that big. But after we merge them together, after phase 1 is complete, we will fertilize lengthways, because it'll be just better that way to go lengthways instead of widthways like we're doing now. And then we'll have one big long field of crops. Still haven't decided what the initial crop is going to be once we merge all of these 4 fields together, but who knows, maybe I'll let you guys decide. Why don't we do that, and we'll let you guys, the fans, decide what the first crop is going to be in our newly formed super field here. Fields number 20, 21, 22, and 23 are all going to be merged into one field at the end of phase 1. And leave a comment down below with what you want the crop to be. And then we'll gather all the data. We'll analyze all the data. And then we'll formulate a plan according to what you guys, the viewers, actually want. How's that? You guys can pick what we plant in this field here. That's going to be 4 fields turned into 1. I do have one rule though: no potatoes, no sugar beets. Not going to happen. Do not comment, please grow sugar beets, because it won't happen. I will dismiss those votes for sugar beets and potatoes, because we're not doing it. Any other crop other than sugar beets, potatoes, oh, and sugar cane. No, not going to do sugar cane either. Maybe I should just decide what the crop is. No, I'll leave it up to you guys. Whatever crop you want other than sugar beets, potatoes, or sugar cane. The 3 banes of my existence in Farming Simulator 19. One more full strip of field to go, and fertilizing will be complete on field number 1. Then we just have to do that little strip there. And because the fertilizer was crazy expensive this time around, $10,000 to fill up the sprayer. Still can't get over that. We're going to go lengthways a little bit, just to cover the small spot. It doesn't make sense to waste fertilizer on non-field areas of the map. So we'll just finish up this one little space right here. Oh, there's a little line right there that needs to be done. Oh well, we won't worry about that. We'll turn sideways a little bit, and we'll just do this little strip here this way instead of the other way. And if I'm not mistaken, I think those crops ahead of us are withered in that field. Field number 21 has a field full of withered crops. That might drive the price down a little bit. They are kind of grayish. They don't look too healthy. There we go. Almost done. Perfect. And one more in a little bit. I don't think the sprayer is going to get this full section. Want to fertilize as much as we possibly can. I think we planted, yeah, we have 3 fields of sunflowers here. So the more sunflowers we can get, the better. Oops, wrong button. Jumped out of the tractor instead of starting the fertilizer sprayer. Let's get this last portion done right here. There we go. We still got tons of fertilizer left. Let's head on over to the newly purchased field, field number 22. And we will fertilize that one really quickly as well. Then we'll head on over to 23 when we're done. And then hopefully by next episode, we should have enough money, or accumulate enough money, to buy the field number 21 with the withered crops there. And we're going to have to plow that. And we're going to have to get rid of all that garbage that's growing in there right now, or not growing. And we're going to have to prepare that. Maybe we'll buy it, but then I think we'll wait until we harvest these 3 fields before we plant anything in that 4th one, so that we can plant it all at the same time. I think that would be a wise plan. So we are going to fertilize this field, then the next one, and then I think we're going to call it a day. I don't think there's anything else we can possibly do right now except wait for these crops to grow so that we can harvest them, hopefully in the next episode. Alright, let's continue fertilizing. Why don't we skip to the end of the fertilizing of the 2 fields and then we'll call it from there. How's that? Alright, here we go. The end of the fertilizing is now complete. Let's just do this last little rectangle right here. Perfect. Oh, and we accidentally disconnected the sprayer. Alright, so we're going to fold up this fertilizer sprayer. We're going to park it back into the shed. And that is going to wrap up this episode, folks. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for tuning in. I surely do appreciate it. You've been watching Farming Simulator 19, played on the Xbox One console. This was the Przemas Outback John Deere Farm, episode number 5. Don't forget, folks, subscribe to my channel, like and share this video, and ring that notification bell so you can be alerted every time we upload new content. Then, have a look at your screen right here. There are some wonderful playlists for your enjoyment that I'm putting up there right now. There they are. And you'll be able to click on those, watch some prior episodes, prior series that we have completed on JCTV. That would be greatly appreciated. Go and watch all of those. Have fun. If you have any questions, let me know. For now, this is JCTV saying, see you later.